Hi, this is Priyal, and I'm the founder and the managing director of Utpravan Youth Foundation that aims at stitching the youth into the fabric of sustainable progress. To say, I'd like to extend my heartfelt apologies for the inconvenience that was made at the last moment since the STOG service provider for hosting a webinar its server went down all of a sudden just half an hour before, and it created all of this mess. But I feel that this automated webinar or the recorded webinar would still be as successful as the live webinar was going to be. And also, your questions, your queries, your suggestions, everything will be entertained in the comment section of this YouTube video, because we feel that you have a say when we are talking about youth in a democratic country. And we assure you that every suggestion, question, or query would be entertained in the same manner. Starting by, what does Utpravan Youth Foundation actually mean, and where did its idea come in my mind from? So, Utpravan is a Hindi word that means rising or to uplift. We all know that we are in a grievance. We are depriving. Our lives are getting deteriorated in the name of technological advancements, because we have worn a disguise, we have put a mask on our mind, and we have shut our eyes this way that we do not feel what are we doing to this earth, to the people all around. Since human nature is actually not so, because we have lost humanity, we have lost our cultures, we have lost what our environment used to be. All that we have with us right now is our greed, and that is making us drown into such a never ending ocean where we do not even know what are we going to do in the future. So Utpravan is to uplift, because we need to do something in this decade of action to curb the wounds on ourselves. Since nature, since the earth, everything is inevitable. The person who is going to be affected, or I'd like to say the organism that is going to be affected, is human. Now, talking about why is it a youth foundation? We all know India is a huge country, and being huge in its area, it's also huge in its population, as it's a really populous country. But the factor that affects the positivity of our population is that we are a youth dominated country. That means most of the population of India is youth and workforce. India's median age is to only 28.4 years, while the median ages of other developed countries like Japan, US, etc., are 50 or something like that. So, because we are so young, it means we have more creative minds, it means we are more resourceful, it means we are more energetic, and we are more zealous. Now, how to use these four traits to develop our nation, to develop something that fosters sustainability in our livelihood? That is where the agenda or the purpose or the idea of driving a youth foundation came into my mind. And when I read this data analytics in some magazine, it was something ignited in my mind that yes, we have to utilize our youth foundation, our youth, and we have to found something that provides them with a platform to lead, to work, to showcase their talents, and to foster sustainability. Now, who are we? What do we do? And how do we do our work? Well, we are an integral youth overlooked foundation which aims at strengthening the United Nations 2030 agenda while utilizing India's youth human resource. If we generate or develop sites wherein we actually work for utilizing our human resource, then I don't think so that we'll be still a developing country. We'll definitely be a developed country. At Utpravan Youth Foundation, we manifest youth volunteers who work at the local, national, or global levels for our ventures, which are linked to the Sustainable Development Goals that were formulated by the United Nations. Other than this, we do seminars, arrange fests and fates, introduce institutional clubs and projects, and do outreaches programs as well. Now, we manifest youth volunteers, as we said. Now, what kind of volunteers are we looking for, or are we manifesting? We have so many people around us who wants to become a great marketer. They want to do MBA. They are amazing at graphic designing or video creations. They are amazing photographers, or they're amazingly great at field work. They're extraordinarily an influential person. They're a great person at public relations. We are looking for talented people because we believe everyone is talented. So again, we'll be able to utilize the youth human resource. Now, what do our marketing volunteers and graphic video creators do? Our marketing volunteers gather sponsors and partners for our events or projects while they continue promoting our ventures, our projects, our events on social media by practical marketing means or by digital marketing means, while our graphic video creators cover our events or our outreach programs or our drives, and they also design our e-posts and create videos for needed promotional tasks. That means when we are going to launch some edu venture or some fete or some fest, then for its promotional basis we need to do something that highlights what the propaganda of our project or our endeavor is going to be. So for that case, we are looking for amazing video creators, we are looking for graphic designers, and to promote all of this we are looking for marketing volunteers. Now, to start from the scratch, this foundation was started by launching 5 ventures. So what we do is we launch 5 ventures that are connected to the SDGs every 2 months. That is, we are going to have 5 ventures for January and February, 5 for March and April, and so on. So the first 5 ventures that were launched on 1st January 2020, when this Utpravan Youth Foundation was launched publicly, are going to be as follows. Our first venture deals with the problem of hunger amongst Indians. All the beneficiaries of wealth and finance dine exclusive food. We are never sleeping hungry, or we are never sleeping without seeing and tasting what actual good and quantitative food feels like. But in the proportional manner, we are way less. There are so many people who are begging, who are homeless, who do not have work, who do not acquire their basic food needs every day. And when we organize some parties or some events, if the food is left, what we do is clearly throw it away. So here's again why humanity is getting deprived, because we are so greedy that we think about ourselves and not the other people. In India, more than 75% people sleep hungry, or they do not have their 2 meals each day. All do they have is maybe a bread given to them, or maybe something that has been trashed away. So how to cure that? So what do our Venture 1 volunteers do? Our Venture 1's name is Standing for Feeding Every Empty Belly. In this task, what do the volunteers do? They connect and collaborate with catering services, restaurants, cafes, bars, and every food truck that has some leftover food with them every day. They collect the same food, which is nutritious enough, and they distribute them among the needies, because that is again something needed. We understand how providing them with food without them working is going to be a little depreciable. But we also understand that how their food is needed, the food is needed for them to be so energetic to work. Other than this, in March or April, we are to launch some venture that deals with providing employment to people who are skillful but not educated. Now, the next thing that deals with is quality education. We all say that there is a right to education to every child. Of course, there is a right to education, but we feel that there must be a right to quality education, because there are so many schools which are village based, or which do not have very qualified educators. They do not provide the students with quality education. Now, we totally oppose the Indian education system because it's a grade dominated system and not a talent dominated system. So, our next venture is raising the bars of modern education. And here, what do we mean by modern? Is to encourage practicing STEM based education or experiential learnings, and to facilitate unprivileged students with at least primary education. After they're acquired with their primary education, we in again maybe June or July will be connecting with some companies which could fund us in getting them enrolled in at least government schools, so that they can be facilitated with quality level secondary education. Now, next is gender equality. India has always been a male dominated country. Although we say that women are taking their stakes and they're coming forward, but somewhere or the other, the stereotypes for everything exist in the minds of people. Be them financially good, be them educated, or be them illiterate, there is a hypocrisy still going on, which is still prevalent in India. And that is something that pinch all the women around. And of course, some boys and guys too, but of course, the women. So, what do our Venture 3 volunteers do? Our Venture 3 is bridging stereotypes, bringing equality. We believe that feminism has lost its way, since it's something now that deals with increasing female dominance and making men being marginalized or something like that, and which is not acceptable. We have to promote equality. That is, if we put the ways of women and men on a weighing scale, they are equal and exact same with no difference. So, the purpose and the task of this venture is to promote gender equality and not feminism. And it is also focusing on bridging all forms of gender based stereotypes, be it girls cannot become pilots or engineers, or be it guys cannot become chefs. Now, the next thing is clean water and sanitation. To surprise, for the first time, it's not something that deals with cleaning the water that is around us, but it deals with sanitation, specifically with women. So, what do our Venture 4 volunteers do? As I said, it deals with specifically women. That means it has some close relation with women and their biological talents. Saying this, I refer to the menstrual cycles. So many women around India do not use sanitary pads. All they use is a dirty cloth or ash during their menstrual periods. And that is not acceptable, because that can result to some sexual and biological diseases, and that can also lead to their deaths. So that is again not acceptable, and to do so we have to break the taboo and talk about menstruation. The purpose of this venture is to drive outreach programs and educate women about menstruation. I still see so many girls who are educated, who are literate, but they're still afraid of talking about their menstrual cycles. And that is something that we have to work upon. This also deals with providing unprivileged women with basic menstruation related amenities. We know hi fi brands like Stay Free or Secure Excel. They are some brands which definitely provide with high quality sanitary napkins, but at a high rate as compared to the ratio of women financially strong in India. So many of us have seen Padman. So, how about giving and providing such women and telling them to start an endeavor where they can earn at least 5 to 10 rupees, where how much, I mean, so that they can acquire their basic menstrual amenities every month. The next venture under us is climate action, and for a second, we deal with air pollution in this, and we're connected to the BEST Club or Breathe Easy State of Club of Alcon International with this venture. So, what do our Venture 5 volunteers do? Our Venture 5 is healing the scars we started putting ages before. And the purpose and the task of this is to research and analyze the causes of increasing AQIs in an individual's vicinity and to adopt methodologies to reduce AQIs across Delhi NCR. Let me remind you of the period that was Diwali. Gurgaon had reached its AQI to 800, and it was not just about burning firecrackers, but it was also about stubble burning. So, how to reduce them? Since we are all dependent on our government and Indians play a blame game, we are never achieving the agenda of clean air. Why? Because the government leaves their plans documented, and we, the people who elect them, leave our vote voted. So, how to overcome that? We can overcome such pollution problems by actually analyzing the root cause of air pollution and how to reduce them. Definitely, afforestation is a good idea, but what can be the other measures? We are also going to provide some methodological workshops on this basis with the BEST Club of Alcohol International School, and also we are to progress in this field by, of course, forcing our governments to do something like China has done instead of thinking about the international disparities, but of course about their own nation. The next is, what are our future plans and ventures? We are to launch institution based clubs and projects. We are to organize mass rallies and outreach programs. We are to work with the World Economic Forum's Global Shapers Delhi Hub for their initiative Bloodstock Period. This initiative deals with sustainable menstruation, and we will be starting with this project from 19th March 2020. So, anyone who feels interested to become our volunteer under this can, of course, hit our social handles or just comment in the YouTube's comment section and become one and serve the Indian region with sustainable menstruation. And this is not all. We have a lot many ventures planned for our future, but currently we're exposing only these. And now, because the thematic question of this webinar was to how to become a hash global change maker or a hash leader using the platform of Utpravan Youth Foundation. So, now this far we've come, you might have felt interested in something or the other, or you might have suggestions for the future plans, or you might feel to enroll in our foundation. So if you find something that interests you, or if you are younger than the people in their 60s, and if you wish to become a global change maker, then here you go. How can you become a global change maker or a global leader under Utpravan? So, if you're good at digital or practical marketing, if you're good at finding sponsors, if you're an influential person or person good at public relations, or if you're good at field work, or maybe if you're good at video or graphic creating, then we have your back. We need you. We are looking for talented youth. We are looking for Indian youth, and we are looking for people who claim themselves as global citizens. So, how about working with us? Now, the question arises that what kind of interviews or forms or resume do I have to submit? The process is really, really easy, and you don't have to go for so many formalities since we are looking for people who actually wish to work. All you have to do is visit our website for becoming a fieldwork, marketing, or sponsorship volunteer. Our website's link has been also given in the description box, and all you have to do is hit the Ventures tab. Scroll down and you will see these two tabs shown in the picture, details of every task and join us volunteer now. When you tap details of every task, you will get a document which shows all the tasks and their explanations. And when you click join us volunteer now, then you will be directed to a Google form, and all you have to do is fill it. And if you will be selected, maybe of course you'll be selected if you're actually genuinely wishing to work, then you will be selected and you will be mailed and you will be intimated and you can start your work. Now, what are the perks that we are offering to our volunteers? We are offering to them a certificate for their work, of course. And if they continue working for a long period of time and their work is appreciable, then we are also signing the letter of recommendations. And currently we are off paid internships, but we are looking for interns as well. So these are the perks you are achieving if you definitely and integrally work with Utpravan Youth Foundation. To apply as a video or graphic creator, all you have to do is mail us at utpravanYF@gmail.com with a sample and your contact details and what have you accomplished in this field. The accomplishments really don't matter, it's just that we would like to know more about our volunteers. Also, you can remain updated at our social handles. We are @Utpravan on both Instagram and Twitter. And we are always open to suggestion, ideas, messages, questions, queries, criticism, or appreciation. With this, I'd like to thank all of you for contributing and taking out your special and precious time. And again, apologies for not being able to present a live webinar. But yes, you can hit the questions below in the comment box or queries or criticism or anything. We are open to everything and you'll surely be replied. Thank you and all the love from the team of Utpravan Youth Foundation.